Hardware for aerospace operations falls into several categories that are treated with increasing care, from facilities and ground support equipment to the launch site itself, the flight hardware, and the experiments to be put into orbit. Cleanliness is always a consideration, and controlled work areas are often managed as clean work areas, using barriers, clothing exchanges, cleanroom airflow techniques, entry restrictions, workflow management, and protective measures to assure no contamination is allowed in areas where flight hardware or experiments are being assembled, prepared for launch, or research following a launch for scientific purposes. As strange as it may seem, humans are almost always the biggest contributors to contamination in the workplace, not because of work habits, but because we constantly shed skin, hair, oils, and other contaminants as a part of being who we are. That makes work in this environment a little more difficult than in most jobs. Two areas deserve special attention in this overview. The first is called FOD, which stands for Foreign Object Debris or Foreign Object Damage. Anything that doesn't belong in the work environment, from trash and misplaced tools to dirt and grass cuttings, qualifies as FOD. FOD is not only the enemy of a clean work environment, it is also a threat to the success of every mission. On the ground, FOD contributes to failures of hardware by introducing elements not planned or designed into an operation, like a rag left on the ground and sucked into a jet engine. On orbit, FOD floats and can clog air filters, complicate visual operations, contaminate sensitive instruments, and cause short circuits in electrical systems, causing catastrophic failures. FOD is a big deal in aerospace, and technicians need to be aware of it 100% of the time on the job. Habits at home become habits at work, so attention to FOD is a full-time, 24/7 job. The other area of special interest is personal protective equipment, or PPE. This is the name given to the equipment required to protect humans due to hazards inherent in the workplace and the operations being conducted there. Examples include hearing protection due to high noise levels, respirators to provide clean breathing air, goggles to provide eye protection from physical hazards, gloves, coveralls, shoes, special undergarments, and many other forms of PPE specified during the design of work operations to keep employees safe and effective during the many dangerous activities required for aerospace operations. You need to understand these requirements thoroughly to be effective in the aerospace workplace. And if you haven't reviewed PPE requirements recently, you might want to take the time to do a little research before going on. For example, do you know what SCAPE stands for? It's an acronym for Self-Contained Atmospheric Protective Ensemble, a NASA name for a full-body protective suit used by fuel handlers and others to provide supplied air either by backpack, Type 1, or hose line, Type 4, allowing workers to enter and work in areas where chemical hazards are present. SCAPE suits are not commonly used in many industry workplaces, but aerospace operations have used them for more than 40 years.